The royal starship drifted above the rings of a quiet blue world as Princess Elira walked along the observation hall. Her steps were soft against the polished floor as she watched fragments of ice flare like sparks in the sunlight. The calm scene failed to settle her thoughts. This day carried a strange weight. Her advisors called it a simple diplomatic meeting with a representative from Earth. To her, it felt far from simple. Something in her memory stirred each time she heard the word. Human. Her guard captain, Laren, waited by the entrance. He held his posture with rigid discipline. Elira sensed his attempt to hide his worry. The recent threats across nearby systems had placed pressure on their kingdom. Alliance talks with Earth might shape the future of their people. But her thoughts rested on a memory from long ago, a dusty ruin, a collapsed wall, a small girl trapped beneath debris, and a figure who had lifted the stones with bare hands and carried her toward light. She remembered warmth, calm reassurance, a voice speaking a language she had not known yet somehow understood in that moment. A human her family had searched for this unknown rescuer for years without success. Now she stood on the verge of meeting a human envoy. Her mind could not stop circling the question that had followed her since childhood. Who had saved her? Was he still alive? Had fate brought him into her path once more? Laren approached with a slight bow. Princess, the human team has docked. They are on their way to the council chamber. She nodded. Very well, let us proceed. As she walked, the smooth corridors of the starship echoed with the soft hum of power lines. The ship was the pride of her kingdom. Yet even with its elegance and technological wonders, she sensed her people's fear beneath the quiet surface. Human alliance offered hope, but meeting a new species also carried risk. When the chamber doors lifted, she saw the delegation waiting inside. 3 humans stood near the center table, their posture straight, their clothing formal. Her eyes counted them quickly. 2 older, 1 younger. The youngest stood slightly behind the others, as if uncertain of his place. Her breath caught. The young man had a quiet presence that tugged at something deep in her memory. His hair dark, his gaze observant but calm, his shoulders strong, though his posture modest. For a moment she wondered if her mind invented the resemblance. Yet a faint warmth spread across her senses, the same warmth she remembered from the ruins. Laren stepped forward with formal greeting. I present Princess Elira of the Celian Crown. The older human responded. Thank you. On behalf of Earth, we bring respect. I am Director Nolan. This is our Chief Advisor Mara, and this is our Field Specialist. Kai. The name felt plain. The sound fit his appearance. Simple but steady. Elira kept her expression composed. Welcome to our vessel. We hope this meeting builds understanding between our people. Kai said nothing at first. His eyes met hers only briefly before he lowered them. Something about the gesture stirred a ripple through her chest. The talks began. Nolan and Mara discussed trade routes, defense treaties, cultural guidelines. Elira answered with clarity, but found her focus drifting toward Kai. He stood, still near the table. His gaze moved across displays with silent attention. He did not offer comments unless Nolan asked for his input. Yet each time he spoke, his voice carried an easy calm that settled the room. During a brief intermission, Elira stepped aside to review holographic notes. As she stood near a side window, she sensed someone approaching. When she turned, she saw Kai standing a respectful distance away. Princess, he said in a low tone, I hope I am not disturbing you. Not at all, she replied. You may speak freely. He nodded and looked toward the ringed planet outside. Your ship is remarkable. I have never seen craftwork like this up close. She smiled slightly. We value beauty in our designs. But function comes first. The ship must protect my people. He hesitated. There is much tension between our worlds right now. I hope these talks bring stability. As he spoke, she felt it again, the faint echo of that childhood moment. A tone in his voice, a softness behind his words. She studied him more carefully. "Have we met before?" she asked. He blinked in surprise. "I do not believe so." His reaction seemed honest, yet something did not align. She pressed gently. "There was an incident many years ago. I was a child. I was trapped in the ruins of an old structure. A stranger saved me. A human, I never knew who." Kai grew still. His eyes lowered again. She almost thought she saw something flicker through his expression, regret or hesitation. Before she could question further, Nolan called the team back to the table. The moment slipped away. Hours passed as negotiations continued. Alira remained steady, but noticed Kai's glances grow less guarded, as if he wanted to speak again but could not. When the meeting ended for the day, Nolan requested rest chambers for the delegation. Alira agreed and ordered her attendants to guide them. But as she turned to leave, she noticed Kai step aside from the others. He paused at the doorway and looked back at her with a quiet intensity. That night, Alira walked alone through the garden corridor near the upper deck. Soft lights glowed from crystal panels. Fragrant vines hung along the curved walls. She needed time to clear her thoughts before the next day of talks. As she approached a small fountain, she sensed someone nearby. She turned and saw Kai standing, under the glow of a silver lamp. His posture was respectful, but his eyes carried a weight. "Princess," he said, "forgive my intrusion. I asked your guards if I might request a word. They allowed me through with permission." Alira stepped closer. "Speak, Kai. Something burdens you." He exhaled slowly. "You asked earlier about a past rescue. I told you I did not believe we had met. That was not the full truth." A faint tremor passed through her. "Go on." Kai lowered his gaze. "When I was young, I traveled with a research group across several outer sectors. During one mission, our craft detected a collapsed site on your world. I found the child trapped beneath the remains. I carried her out before the support beams failed. After that moment, we were forced to leave quickly since local guards mistook our ship for raiders." She felt her heart begin to race. The child was me. Yes, the world around her seemed to fall quiet. She searched his expression. His honesty lay bare before her. "Why did you hide this during our meeting?" she asked. "Because I feared it would disrupt the talks. I did not want my past involvement to influence diplomatic goals. I only revealed it now because I could not keep it from you any longer." Alira stepped closer. The garden lights cast gentle reflections across his face. She felt that same calm presence she had remembered for years. Strong yet humble, protective without claiming to be. "You saved my life," she said softly. He shook his head lightly. "Anyone would have done the same." "But not anyone did," she replied. "Only you." Kai fell silent. His posture shifted as if he carried both pride and unease. "I never expected to see you again. I never imagined the child I rescued would become a princess. And I never imagined my rescuer would stand before me again," she said. A long quiet stretched between them, not uncomfortable, simply heavy with meaning. Alira moved toward the fountain and rested her hands on the cool stone edge. When she looked back at Kai, she felt a connection form with startling clarity. "Tell me, Kai, why do you truly serve in these missions? You do not strike me as one who seeks political influence." Kai joined her near the fountain, but kept a respectful distance. "I want to help build understanding between species. I have seen what fear does." I have seen how small acts of compassion can change everything. Ever since that day in the ruins, I understood how precious each life is. His words touched something deep within her. You speak with sincerity, she said. It is rare among those who stand in council halls. He gave a small smile. My team tells me I am not suited for strict politics. I prefer working in the field where I can actually help. Alira looked down at the flowing water. The gentle sound soothed her racing thoughts. Kai, she said, do you know what my advisors fear? They fear humans will overpower our system. They fear your bold progress. They fear unpredictable change. He nodded. I understand. Many human leaders have the same fear about your people. Then perhaps we must show them a different path, she said. One where cooperation begins not from fear, but from trust. Kai held her. Gaze. If that is what you wish, I will support it with all I can. The sincerity in his voice warmed her. Before she could speak further, an alert tone echoed from a nearby panel. Laren's voice came through the comb. Princess, an unknown ship approaches. It is not signaling peaceful intent. Kai straightened. Alira touched the panel. Laren, secure the chamber. I am on my way. Kai stepped forward. Princess, let me help. You are not one of my guards, she said. No, he replied, but I am capable. Please allow me to stand with you. She saw determination in his eyes, steady and honest. The same determination she had seen when he lifted stones from her small body years ago. Very well, Kai. Stay close. They hurried through the corridor as lights turned red. The hum of engines grew sharper as the ship shifted to defense mode. When they reached the command deck, Alira joined Liren near the main console. A damaged vessel flickered on the display, its signature unstable, its movement erratic. Laren spoke quickly. It appears to be a raider craft, possibly scavengers. Their flight path is irregular. They may be desperate. Kai studied the screen. Their hull is fractured. They might not be here by choice. They could be trying to